Dynaman, Dynaman, Kagaku Sentai, Dynaman, man. Yeah, y'all probably thought we were gonna do Ultraman Tiga today. Well, joke's on you! In honor of April Fool's Day, we're actually doing the English dub. That's right, the English dub of Dynaman from the series Night Flight. And yes, we're going to cover all 6 episodes of Dynaman. And it's not called Kagaku Sentai, it's just Dynaman. And with me is my regular Monday co-host, XL Ranger. XL Ranger, how are you doing?
Doing pretty good.
Yeah. Are you excited to discuss Dynaman of all things?
Yeah. Oh, it'll be fun.
Yeah. Oh, it's gonna be obscenely fun. Because I found out about Dynaman, the English version, completely by accident at one point, and I am so happy that we got this because this is the funniest thing I've ever seen my entire life. And as we mentioned before, like if Ultraman Tiga's English dub doubled down on this, like it would have been a bigger hit than it actually is right now. So there's that. But yeah, no, I'm really happy that we are getting to discuss this. It's have you watched the Dynaman English dub prior to this past week?
Yes. Years ago when I first found out about Super Sentai, I eventually found out about the Dynaman parody English dub and watched some of it years ago.
Yeah, I'm really fond of the fact that I'm really fond of this parody because I knew that like stuff like this could happen. I just never known that it would happen. Like we all knew that like Saban wanted to bring Bioman over to the US as the original attempted Power Rangers, but turns out there was an attempt even before that. And unlike Stanley's son Vulcan, it actually followed through on that. Yeah,
for 6 episodes.
For 6 episodes, and honestly, I kind of like that. It's like if you really think about it, this is like the original Japanese TV show abridged.
Pretty much.
Yeah. It's like you got Yu-Gi-Oh! Abridged, Yu Hakusho Abridged, SAO Abridged, Hellsing Abridged, one of my personal favorites. Well, here we have Dynaman Abridged, basically, except
pretty much.
Except it aired on public television, and it was hilarious. So let's go into it. It originally aired on a blog called Night Flight, which existed since the 80s, like the early 80s. And it used to be on apparently Nickelodeon, and then it moved to USA Network or vice versa. And what's interesting is that it kind of was the precursor to channels like MTV and G4, where they would have segments where they would stream, they would broadcast music videos, live shows, and then like other like full feature-length movies from outside of the country. So yeah, Night Flight was basically the original MTV and G4. So that was kind of interesting to learn about.
Yeah.
Have you ever watched the original Japanese version of Dynaman?
I haven't gotten to it yet, but it's one of the few Sentai that I have left before I've seen them all.
Right. For me, I've only seen the first 16 episodes because, again, in a certain age, when a certain website did not follow all the rules, they either had all or select episodes of various Super Sentai seasons, including the first 8 episodes of Changeman, and only the first 8 episodes of Changeman. But there were 16 episodes of Dynaman. I did watch all the episodes all the way through, and yeah, I'm gonna be honest. Dynaman had one of the best theme songs from the '80s era of Super Sentai. So
It's pretty good.
yeah,
Though I think Flashman has the best 80s opening.
Agree to disagree. Flashman is catchy. I'm not going to deny you that much, but I just love like the way it opens up, like yeah, it's just so good. It's easy to learn the lyrics. So there's really not much to it. So it was one of the earliest Sentai seasons I was singing along to. Die,
Dynaman. Die, Bakuhatsu.
Bakuhatsu, Kagaku Sentai,
Dynaman.
So one thing I love about this series is they did air they did air 6 episodes and they dubbed them in English. And what's funny is that the first 2 episodes they start off with the president of the TV company doing a quick address to introduce the series. Where even in the first episode, he's like, not only is this do we have the advanced technology to do simultaneous dubbing, but we also have a simultaneous censorship. So right now, not only am I being seen by Japanese audiences and American audiences right now, but the Japanese see me as being a Japanese man speaking Japanese, while you, the American audience, can see me as a white person speaking English, all happening at the same time. and yeah, so that's the joke. It's like, oh, we're simul-dubbing Dynaman not only in Japan but in America as well. And apparently he doesn't understand that sushi needs to be eaten raw. It's like no, I'm not gonna eat this. This food isn't cooked. But master, it's sushi. No, it's not cooked. I'm not going to eat it until you cook it. All right, so shall we get into the show?
Yes.
Okay, so first episode is basically the introductory episode where we have the 5 good-looking Japanese teenagers of all walks of life. Wushi, their leader, Chuba, able to leap tall trees, Frankie, the human boat motor, a Cowboy, the slow-thinking weapons expert, and their main squeeze, Slojin, all of which are Dyna Red, Black, Blue, Yellow, and Pink, respectively. And they hang out at a laboratory / daycare center led by Dr. Ho. That's his name in the show. Like, even the theme song's like, who can stop them? Who can save the world? Ho, that's who. And
exactly.
Yeah. And yeah, so the bad guys are lizard people, just like in the Japanese version, but here turns out that the main villains, renamed as Bernie Tanaka and Mel Fujitsu, were originally colleagues of Dr. Ho, who apparently, after an accident involving acid, somehow turned them into lizard people.
Somehow.
They never quite explain it properly, but now they want to take over the world. So the 5 good-looking teenagers of all walks of life learned that the lizard people who say we are illegally filming a movie. They don't have permits. They're using ununionized actors. Discussing this after 2023 is like, it just makes it funnier. I'm not gonna lie. It's like basically they're breaking every regulation in when it comes to filmmaking, and they also want to do a music video. So basically, I think they're basically trying to create Night Flight, but illegally.
Yeah,
because it almost sounds like they're just trying to recreate a Night Flight. But yeah, no, our heroes, they try to fight the lizard people who say we, and they fail. So So Dr. Ho gives him special braces that allow him to transform the Dyna Kids into Dynamen. It sounds interesting saying out loud. And one of my favorite jokes is how it's like so Jin, because you are the girl, you will be the Pink Ranger. But pink is not my favorite color. Well, it's the only one I have left, so you're gonna have to deal with it. So basically, they did the Zordon is racist skit before College Humor even had a chance to even come up with the Zordon is racist skit. Yeah. And of course they fight a giant mechanical crab monster, and also one of the generals is named Nigel Cochran.
Lovely.
Who's probably one of the funniest characters on the show. And of course they defeat the crab monster using the giant robot, and that's pretty much the sum of the episode. So what was your impression when you saw the first episode, and like what were some of your favorite gags from it?
It was pretty funny. I'm trying to remember like all the gags from it, but yeah, the whole pink, you're pink, but that's not my favorite color. Well, too bad. It's the only one I have left.
Yeah. Yeah, no. Especially how like they're trying to come up with fake names, and they're just really bad to the point that even like Wuxi and the cowboy ended up using the same name.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah. So what would you rate that episode out of 10?
I'd say probably give it like an 8 out of 10.
Yeah. I'd say about the same. I would say the show did start off pretty strong. But I have to say the best episode is literally the next one. So we're gonna get right into it. The second episode, the lizard people are upset that the Dyna Kids messed up their secret lair by partying when in actuality they're just good kids who are studying. And of course, they are indeed well-behaved, good-looking Japanese kids of all walks of life. Partying, crashing isn't new to the forces of evil. In fact, the lizard people crashed the first party since before recorded time. Before Madonna? Yes, even before ZZ Top.
Even before ZZ Top.
When I was a young college student in either North or South Dakota, depending on which way the camera was facing. The second episode is probably like the perfect episode to illustrate why I love watching these 6 episodes over and over again, because like the way they delivered the lines and like the execution of the jokes, they're just perfect. Like if only Tiga had such top-notch comedy writing instead of just, oh, Hori smells bad, like he needs to change his uniform. Okay. It's like, Commander, your thoughts. The 70s must never come back, and golf is incredibly boring. Yeah. And so the forces of evil create the ultimate party crasher, Dynaman. And yeah, and you have the song "Party in the USA," not the Miley Cyrus one, the other one.
No, not that.
Yeah. It's like all of us are kicking in the USA. I forgot the lyrics. Rocking in the USA. Which brings me to another thing I love about the show. They have a lot of classic rock in as part of their soundtrack, and they insert it everywhere. Like I low key want to make a playlist called Dynaman where I just take every song in order of every episode and just like make a playlist for that. Yeah, like even in that episode, they had the song "Summer of '69," "Rockin' the USA." Episode 5 had "White Wedding" by Billy Idol, which is awesome, by the way. Great song. But yeah, so they try to trick the what's it called? They try to lure out the forces of evil by creating a fake party and not invite them.
What is this, Super One?
Yes, that's the best. That's the best way to lure out the forces of evil. Start a party and not invite them, because if you don't invite them, they will come.
Exactly.
Exactly. Meanwhile, they try to teach their team robots the what's it called, comic relief, which goes just about as well as you would think it would. Oh, and did I mention the orphans? There's orphans involved.
The orphans.
The orphans. Oh man, the orphans are they also have a lot of gags. It's like, oh no, I hope you don't mind me destroying this building. Oh no, that's only my mother's favorite building. Well, excuse me, princess.
What are you, Link?
They may as well be, because they are the missing link between humans and lizards. Whee!
I suppose.
Yep. Yeah. So, evil's thwarted, and they defeat Rhino Man, and of course we get a lot of more great one-liners from Nigel Cochran. I know that Cochran is such is a common last name. It's just the fact that you have like this Japanese supervillain named Nigel Cochran. It's just so funny, like just like saying it out loud. Like I know like Bernie Tanaka and Mel Fujitsu are probably like not the most common names in Japan, but Nigel Cochran. Something about it is just so obscenely ordinary that it just becomes funny, like from its like existence. So, any particular gags that stood out to you during the Rhino Man episode?
They kept asking Dr. Ho his age.
Oh yeah, it's like that joke wasn't funny. It's like why? It's like, well, that joke did not work the first time. Yeah. No, that was a great gag. By the way, as a quick aside, if they did that again with another Super Sentai series, not Car Ranger, because that would be a low hanging fruit for you. Like if they decide to do this again, like if Power Rangers never existed and they take another Super Sentai series, dub over it into a comedy, which one would you most want to see as a parody like this?
That's a good question. I don't know. Maybe Change Man. It'd be pretty fun. It might be funny to see it like that.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Yeah. That Change Man, that would be interesting. Like for me, I would want to see Mask Man. No, actually, no. I would actually want to see Five Man become adept because each one of them is a teacher and they teach a different subject. Because you got red for science, black for language arts, blue for athletics, yellow for music, and pink for math. So it's like there's like so much potential for that. Having a parody about teachers becoming superheroes.
That actually would be pretty funny.
Yeah.
5-man abridged.
5-man abridged. Yeah, you could call it 2.5 man. I just took 5 and cut it in half. So I'm like, oh my god. It works.
It works.
Yeah. Oh man, but yeah, no, I love the Rhino Man episode. It's just peak comedy for me. So that one I have to give it a 10.
Yeah, it's pretty good. I give it a 9 out of 10.
Yeah. So here's the point where things get a little bit iffy because the remaining 4 episodes are sort of listed out of order. So like for example, if you got it on DVD, like it would be in a different order than like the official order. Or like if you watched it on YouTube, they would be listed differently than either of those two sources, and even compared to the actual Japanese dub of the show. So the trick here is what order to do the episodes in, and I'm sticking to the official order, which was the order I originally watched them in. Unfortunately, when I watched the show on DVD, unfortunately, it was out of order. Episode 3 aired last on the DVD, but while on YouTube, episodes 3 and 4 switched places. So it's like episode 4 is listed as episode 3, episode 3 is listed as episode 4, but 5 and 6 are labeled correctly as 5 and 6. So that's good. But so we are going to stick to the original order. So episode 3 is the episode where Frankie has to fight against Flippy, the evil dolphin.
Yes.
Yeah. This episode was a great follow-up to the Rhino Man episode, because I mean, aside from Frankie having a character focus, it's kind of funny how like you basically have the plot of the day not the day the Earth still, Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy on crack. Because you have like the super intelligent dolphin who turns evil.
Yes.
Yeah, and so he's resentful of humanity. And we are introduced to our second general of the show, his girlfriend, Lucy. And yeah, Lucy has some funny scenes in episode 5. Honestly, I like Lucy more in episode 5 than episode 3. But let's get right into it. So Flippy's evil plan is to get Fish to stop going to school and start taking psychedelic drugs. First of all, I appreciate the fact that, Fish going to school.
I get it.
Yeah. And of course, things get really psychedelic to the point that they have like this whole 1960s vibe thing going on. You got Jimi Hendrix playing the background nonstop, and Frankie thinks he's dead and meets a mermaid.
Yeah.
Yeah, turns out the mermaid is Lucy's half sister. But
who'd have thunk?
Who would have thunk? What a small world we live in. That's covered 70% in water, but you know. But we do get some great scenes of Chuba and the cowboy just infiltrating the evil sea world of doom.
Yes.
But at the end of the day, once they defeat Flippy and leaving Lucy as a widow, no one believes Frankie when he says that he met a mermaid. So here's my question to you. What would you have done if you met a mermaid after getting assaulted by an anthropomorphic evil dolphin that's trying to get Fish to take psychedelics?
Well, I've never been asked that before. Meeting a mermaid, huh?
Yeah.
Well, it certainly would be an experience. It'd be interesting. It's like, holy crap, mermaids are real. I need proof of it. Then again, I'm not sure if I would want to show proof of it, because what if somebody sees it and then, somebody wants to go out and then, kind of ruin their whole ecosystem?
Yeah. And again, like in the day, no, not the day. Why do I keep saying the day the Earth stood still? I'm talking about Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy. They're both movies that involve the Earth getting destroyed to some capacity. That, to be fair, but yeah, no, like in Hitchhiker's Guide, like you got these dolphins like trying to warn humanity about the impending doom of the entire planet, and like the dolphins like, we try to warn you guys, you never listen, peace out, y'all.
Yep. Yeah, but definitely my favorite gag of this episode that has lived rent free in my head for years is Frankie's dead. I know it. No, he's got to be alive. But if he is, can I have his uniform?
Yeah. Yeah, honestly, that's what came to my mind when I watched that scene from Ultraman Tiga, where it's like, oh no, Ultraman's gone. What do we do? Will they name the show after me now? Like, when I saw that clip from Ultraman Tiga, English dub, the first thing that came to my mind was this episode of Dynaman. So, it's yeah, you're not wrong about it living rent-free. And oh, look at this. Both shows involve everyone searching for the focus character in the ocean. Jeez, I'm starting to think Ultraman Tiga English dub might be a rip-off of Dynaman English dub. It's crazy.
Maybe.
Yeah. 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 Oh, man. But yeah, so we are introduced to a new character, Lucy, who will be in the show for the remainder of the season. Will she contribute to the plot? No, but she will contribute to the gags, and I love that. Yeah. So take us. So what score would you give episode 3?
I give it a 9 out of 10.
Yeah, I'd have to agree with you on this one. It's not as good as episode 2, but it's definitely more fun than watching episode 1. And honestly, I would have to say, like, this is where like the show really peaked out of the 6 episodes. I don't know what happened. Like, maybe it's because of the budget that like they kind of like lost wind midway through production, or I don't know, maybe they had different writers, maybe they wrote stuff in a different order and like they did it backwards, maybe, who knows. But yeah, the next 2 episodes probably don't live up to these last 2 episodes, but hey, we're halfway there, so that's good. Yeah. So you want to take us off for episode 4?
What happens in episode 4 again?
It's the one with Lizard of Oz.
Oh, the Lizard of Oz. Yeah, we've got a Batman, not Batman, but a Batman, more like Man Bat.
A Batman.
And going around putting out toxic smog, turning people into basically lizard face.
Yep. And they cannot handle sunlight. Who would have thunk? Yeah. And
then what was it again? The underground prom?
Yeah, the underground prom. Yeah. No, it was underground pageant.
Oh, the underground pageant. That's what it was.
Yes. Yeah.
You'll miss the underground pageant.
Yeah. Yeah, good stuff. It was really good stuff. And yeah, they defeat the they managed to defeat the Batman. They did make a couple of jokes like Chuba making some innuendos about motorcycles, but but thank you, Cowboy, for bringing that up. It's like, oh, and I don't think you're just talking about the motorcycle. Yeah,
the slow thinking Japanese cowboy.
Yeah. So, yeah, it's like it's like that character from Rick and Morty where it's like, oh, it's a play on the Butler did it. Thank you, Explanation Ghost. You're always great at explaining irony. In the episode where like where they had that lockup, it's like, oh, looks like I did the Butler. Oh, it's a play on the Butler did. Yeah, Cowboy's basically that ghost that explains stuff.
Yes.
Yeah. So what are your thoughts on this episode?
It's pretty good. I like the design of the monster.
Yeah. Yeah, I have to say that for me, that was the highlight of the episode. And I do love the fact that his name is Mr. Fabulous.
What, is he Captain Marvelous's cousin?
Yeah. Hey, he could be. Hey, maybe when we meet Ryota this summer, maybe we can ask him. But we
Is
won't.
Mr. Fabulous your cousin?
Yeah, is he related to to Captain Marvelous? What about your niece, Miss Fantabulous?
Miss Fantabulous.
Yes. Yes, and then your third cousin, thrice removed, Sergeant Spectacular.
Sergeant Spectacular.
Yeah, we should make a whole family out of this.
Yes.
Yeah, yeah. Like, look at the new Pokemon from Scarlet and Violet. You got Okidogi, Monkey Dory, and Pheasantipity. Okie dokie.
Hokey dokey.
Hunky dory and serendipity. Those are the three phrases that the three loyalty trio are based on. But when I hear Okie dokie, I'm not thinking about Mario. I'm thinking about the heavy metal band known as Oakley Dokley.
Flanders?
One spritzer. Yeah. If you guys haven't seen
Oakley Dokley.
if you guys haven't heard the band Oakley Dokley, check them out. They're hilarious. I love them. This episode, I have to give it an 8. It's fun, but again, it doesn't. To me, it's just honestly, it's the least memorable of all 6 episodes to me. Not because it's bad, it's just the least memorable. Because it's like I can, off the top of my head, I can remember a lot of gags from all of the other 5 episodes. This one, just a couple. And honestly, when this is the episode I have to rewatch the most, not because I enjoyed the most, but because I remembered the least. That kind of makes it kind of problematic. Because like Rhino Man, I've seen that episode a million times because I wanted to watch it a million times because it was funny. But this it's like it's all right. It's all right. It's like,
it's all right.
It's all right. Woo! It's all right.
Oh yeah, rating things.
Yeah. So it's like, not nice. That's why it's the goat. The goat.
Are we rating Kamen Riders? Because I've seen a video like that.
Yeah, I've seen a video like that and a Super Sentai one. I mean, it's all right.
Woo!
Woo! Perfect. Every last minute detail. Perfect. I swear, I need to find all those individual clips and put them in order from worst to best. Obviously, the lowest one is the one with Dwayne Johnson, and the one at the very end is Homelander saying "perfect." I know he doesn't sound like as energetic as the "woo" guy, but again, perfect is ranks higher than screaming.
Yes.
Yeah. So yeah. Moving on to episode 5, the 7 Loves of Yucky Pierre.
Oh.
It's an obligatory wedding episode, and unlike Boom Boom Jer, they play this 5th instead of 1st.
Mm-hmm. Let's put Dyna Pink in danger.
I mean, it could be worse. At least it's not. Wild Force, where let's put the civilian in danger.
Yeah, Kendall.
Yeah, Kendall is our decoy. You may not like it, Danny, but we need it to happen. Also, wasn't Danny the one who suggested using her as a decoy? I'm starting to rethink things. But yeah, so Slow Jin's cousin is getting married. Nope, she's not quitting teaching. She's just getting married. Don't get your hopes up, kids. But before she can tie the knot, she gets tied up by the tongue of Lucky Pia, as well as several other brides. So as a decoy, Lo Jin, who's a master of disguise, disguises herself as a bride in order to infiltrate his evil lair, where he uses his Hypnotoad powers. Oh, so that's where Hypnotoad came.
Oh, glory to the Hypnotoad.
I want to watch more Hypnotoad.
Yep.
Yeah.
The Hypnotoad.
I wish I had that sound effect on speed dial.
And in first place, the Hypnotoad.
Yeah.
I do the slow clap if I wasn't holding my phone with one hand. There we go.
So he just hypnotized the brides into thinking, oh, he's some attractive human character who definitely doesn't have a lizard tail and says we. But Slow Jin pulls a Sasuke retroactively and like digs her high heel against her foot in order to break out of the hypnosis. So they manage to, she manages to break out all of the brides, including Mary Kate and Emily. And yeah, she mostly single-handedly fights off all the lizard people who say we, to the tune of White Wedding by Billy Idol. And god damn it, I love that song. That riff is just perfect. Hey, little sister, what have you done? Hey, little sister, who's the only one? I've been away for so long. It's a nice day for a white wedding. Okay, before we get a copyright strike. But yeah,
don't want that.
So all's well that ends well until we find out that turns out Dr. Ho already asked Lo Jin out on a date. So then the episode ends with them looking out a window while they wonder, what is that white powder that Dr. Ho is putting into our dinner? I'm not gonna lie though, if I did go back in time to 1983, believe me, I would have asked Lo Jin out, or her Japanese counterpart for that matter. Because if there's anything I like, is athletic women who are masters of disguise. Yeah, actually, that's one of my favorite things about like Pink Rangers, like back in the day. Like they were always masters of disguise.
Mm-hmm.
So much so, it was even referenced in Power Ranger versus Super Sentai.
Mm-hmm. And in Gokaiger.
Yep.
In the Ava Ranger episode.
Yeah. I mean, it was a lot more subtle in the Gokaiger episode, but here's where my fan fiction would have been better than the official material. See, in my version of Megaforce, which I came up with back when Samurai was still on TV, not Super Samurai, actual Samurai. I would have had the Rangers appear human, but turn out to be descendants of other planets in the Rangers universe. For example, the character that would be Noah, who was actually the Green Ranger in the he would have been the Green Ranger in Super Megaforce, just saying. He would have been a descendant of Aquitar, because it would be a Cestro reference, because equations are super intelligent. And Troy would have been from KO35, which would explain the psychic powers. And this is my favorite one. The Pink Ranger would have been from Triforia, because one, she'd be a princess, just like in the Japanese version. but she could use her Triforian powers to split herself into 3 entities, thus making that cosplay gimmick in that one episode more logical. Like, no, she's not randomly showing up ahead of time with different costumes. She's literally in 3 places at once.
Once again, fans coming up with better ideas for a Gokaiger adaptation than the official writers.
Yep. Yep. So yeah, again, Pink Rangers, the Masters of Disguise. I love that trope. I miss a trope. I want to see more of that trope. We did. Ironically, Zenkaiger did a disguise trope episode in an episode where the Pink Ranger was held hostage. She was literally the only character not wearing a disguise. Another example of why Zenkaiger could have been better, but wasn't. But hey, at least
Zenkaiger was all right.
But hey, at least Shindai made a friend. You know, she's not just pining for her brother. She's actually making friends for once. God, I forgot her name already.
Zenkai Majin?
No. Like I'm talking about Kamen Rider Sabia.
Oh.
I'm trying to remember her name. I mean, I remember her last name, but I forgot. God, it was a very English sounding name. Hold on. Reika. That's her name. Reika. Yeah, that psycho. But yeah, no, like her. But no, like her. But anyways, the point is that one time when we have a disguise episode, it's actually, now that I think about it, the disguise trope kind of like transferred to the Red Ranger, because every now and then we have a Red Ranger who cross dresses. Yeah, it's been going on since Machi Ranger, now that I think about it. And it kept going for a while until like that one episode of Q Ranger where Garu was the one who's cross-dressing.
Mm-hmm. I remember that.
My poor sweet boy. Yeah. But yeah, so what are your thoughts on this episode? And what are some of your favorite gags?
I guess that they gave the Monster of the Week a French accent.
Yeah, I would say that's pretty funny. For me, I think it's mainly like the final gag where it's like that awkward,
the white powder.
Yeah, the white powder. It's like, and we have this like extended awkwardness of having of knowing that Dr. Ho asked Slow Jin out on a date. I was like they really emphasize that they're called Dyna kids. So, and they are called teenagers in the theme song. 5 good-looking teenagers of all walks of life. So, suspect?
Yeah.
Suspect. It's like, you don't see.
Do I need to call 911?
It's like you don't see any of the Turbo Rangers hitting on their teacher, who is a recurring character. Now, does their mentor have some flirty moments with their teacher? Oh, absolutely. Just like how Professor Utonium had his moments with Miss Keen and Miss Bellum. Boy, Professor Utonium sure gets around. But no, like not with one of the Rangers.
No.
Thank goodness that Hikaru wasn't their mentor in Machi Ranger, because if they adapted the romance into a Mystic Force, Daggeron would be in hot water.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We don't want that.
No, we don't want that. Instead, we got Nick, who honestly was a creep. I'm not hating on the actor. We're not hating on the actor, but the character is a total creep. It's like I'd stay here, if I was given a reason to stay here. And then he leaves. It's like don't do Maddie wrong like that. Yeah. So for this episode, yeah, I'm back to a 9. This episode was actually pretty funny.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Final episode. In this one, Chuba gets a birthday present from his rich uncle from Pluto. And his present is a nuclear power plant.
What a birthday gift.
Yeah. I wish my uncle could get me a nuclear power plant for my birthday. You know how much free power I could supply people with
That's
my
true.
birthday? Yeah. But it just so happens that it's also Mel Fujitsu's birthday, and all he got was Spunky the Wonder Squid, which looks like an octopus. I don't want Spunky the Wonder Squid.
Let's make him into takoyaki.
Yeah. It's kind of, I like to imagine that's where Togashi got his idea for Ikago. Like, it's like, oh, he's an octopus, but he has Ika in his name. That's definitely not a reference to American Dynaman.
No, not at all.
Not at all. Now, let's go save these 7 brides. Actually, there's only 5 in Hunter x Hunter, but damn, there are kidnapped brides too? Togashi, have you been watching Night Flight back in the day? And then in a fever dream, you just suddenly remembered it, like, subconsciously while you're writing Hunter x Hunter. But what's really funny is that Spunky manages to trick Chuba into thinking he really is his uncle.
Somehow.
And it works for like 30 seconds.
For like 30 seconds.
And so, they fight him off. They rescue, and of course Mel Fujitsu's still upset, and he still wants the power plant. So they attack the power plant, and the Dyna Kids. I still need to get used to that. The Dyna Kids go off to save the power plant, and all's well that ends well. That's the end of the show. Have fun waiting. Who knows how many years for Power Rangers to come out? We are done here.
Yep.
Yeah. Oh, one joke I forgot to mention from the from Lucky Pierre episode was the one where Lucy's acting all jealous because all of her friends got dates to a wedding and she doesn't. If I wanted a boyfriend, I'd get one.
Yep.
It's kind of like, man, how many times have we seen that in a sitcom? I think we've seen that in 30 Rock and in Malcolm in the Middle. But yeah, what was your favorite gag from the final episode?
Good question. Probably the fact that they did. He told it. He fell for the squid being his uncle.
Yeah, I would have to agree with you on that one. And the thing is, it's like they could have easily said, "I'm your uncle." No, you're not. You're an octopus. I'm not an octopus. I'm a wonder squid. Aha! My uncle was an octopus.
Yeah, they could have.
Yeah, they could have. I'm surprised they didn't. How did I think of that just now? And in the wise words of Steve Wang, where were you when we were looking for an executive producer? To which I respond, in high school, I was still 16 at the time.
Yeah.
Actually, come to think of it, I was 16 when I saw American Dynaman. Damn, I can't believe it. Double of my lifespan has passed since I watched the episode.
Yeah.
Yeah, man, I can't believe it. I've come to the point that I spent more of my life being a Kamen Rider fan than the amount of time of my life I've spent not being a Kamen Rider fan. I know that's been the case for a while now, but it didn't cross my mind until just now. First trimester crisis. Give me a second. Okay, I'm done. Okay. Yeah. So, what score would you give this episode?
An 8 out of 10.
I would agree. I will say this though, I still liked it more than the Lizard of Oz episode, but not quite as much as the Lucky Pierre episode.
Yeah.
Yeah. But, at least we now know where the inspiration for Ikago came from in Hunter x Hunter. So, there's that. And what score would you give the entire series overall?
I give it an 8 out of 10. It's pretty funny.
Yeah, same. I mean, it's not perfect. There's a lot of flaws to it. And obviously because of the recording quality and where, like, you could barely find it legally. And even in the one legal place you can find it, it's still... still shoddy in quality. It's like there's only so much you could get out of it in terms of videography. But I will say this, it's charming and I would watch it again because it's the fact that it's dated in the way that it is. It earworms back into your conscious mind every now and then. You just want to rewatch it, and because it's been so long since you watch in between viewings of this show, it's like the jokes stay fresh.
Yeah,
like I'll never get sick of the Rhino Man episode. Like I've practically memorized the entire first 10 minutes of the entire episode just because of how hilarious it played out. It's like, they said what? They said you made a mess of their base. No way! We were studying! I know. You are very well-behaved, good-looking Japanese teenagers of all walks of life, but party crashing isn't new to the forces of evil. In fact, they crashed the first party since before recorded time. Before Madonna? Yes, even before ZZ Top. Now, let me tell you something. Your age? No. When I was a college student in North or South Dakota, and then he mentions how the Lizardman's like, as their spines became straightened, their hearts became crooked. Love the way that played out. As their spines became straight, their hearts became crooked. That should be immortalized somewhere in the world.
Yeah, like have it on a plaque.
Yeah, absolutely. Hey, maybe I'll carve it using a CNC mill. Yes, that's how plaques are made. But yeah, it's an 8 out of 10. But it's a cult classic. I hope there's more people who actually are part of that classic. A part of that cult for this classic. But let us know if you guys in the comments. Let us know if you guys watched Dynaman, the English dub, and what you guys thought about it. You heard our thoughts. Let us hear what you guys what you guys have to say. I would love to see Flashman get a parody. Yeah, I could see that. They could do like a Captain Planet reference or Sailor Moon reference, depending on when it was, depending on when they would make this parody. Lol, Sea World of Evil. Yeah. That's pretty funny. I'm sad Cowboy never got a Focus episode. Yeah. But how much can you really do with Cowboy? Although I will say this, it'd be funny if Cowboy met his Russian cousin, Battle Cossack.
Battle Cossack.
Yeah. I love how you guys managed to insert Tiga references into this Dynaman discussion. I mean, well, that is our shtick. We are here. We are typically discussing Tiga, and if you came here under the impression that we are going to be discussing Ultraman Tiga, at least we didn't completely lie to you.
Yeah,
even if it's ever so minimally. But with that in mind, guys, thank you guys so much for watching. If you enjoyed watching this review, please be sure to comment, like, and subscribe to us on YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. Ding the bell icon to stay notified for our latest videos. Also please be sure to share because sharing helps us out with the algorithms. We do Ultraman Tiga on Mondays, not today because it's April Fool's Day.
Happy April Fools.
Happy April Fools. Kamen Rider Gotchard on Wednesdays, and this Wednesday is Kamen Rider Day, so perfect timing. Thursdays, Bakuage Sentai Bunger. And then on Sundays, we finish the week off with Kamen Rider Kiva. And please check out our sister channel, The Buttery Show, where we do movie reviews, video game news. We just finished the Naked Gun trilogy in honor of the 30th anniversary of Naked Gun 33 and 1/3. And what other movies will we be discussing in the future? Only time will tell, but the best way to know is by dinging the bell icon on that channel as well. And if you want to check out our personal content, where can the people find you?
YouTube.com, Axel Ranger.
And you could find me on Instagram at Boken_Kabuto and on Twitch at twitch.tv/BokenKabuto. With all that said, guys, thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you guys had a happy April Fools and pass that love around. Stay safe, stay hydrated, update your emergency kits on your loved ones. And we will see you guys next time. Goodbye.
See ya.
Bakuhatsu.
Bakuhatsu. Kagaku Sentai Dynaman.